Let's take a look at futures this morning. Right now, the Dow is down by 52 points in the pre-market, but the S&P and the NASDAQ are staging a little bit of a rebound. NASDAQ up 195 points in the pre-market. That's a gain of more than 0.5%. All three major indices, finishing lower. Friday, the tech-heavy NASDAQ was down more than 4%. That's its biggest decline since April of 2025. The S&P 500 also snapping a 9-week winning streak, while the Dow faced its steepest loss since the end of March. Semiconductor stocks facing a major sell-off last week following Broadcom's failure to lift its 2027 AI revenue guidance. Semiconductor stocks this morning, as you can see on your screen, all of those are to the upside, whether it's Marvell or Micron or Intel, Broadcom, and even AMD. Those are advancing in the pre-market. The declines in AI-linked names also spreading over to the Asia and the European markets. We saw that at the top of the show. I want to bring in Constellation Research CEO and Futures Forum founder CEO Ray Wang. Ray, it's great to have you here. How do you see technology right now? Because there was so much news last week on AI and regulation with the president's executive order that he wants these new models to have government review for 30 days. Sam Altman was on the Hill talking to lawmakers, trying to solidify a relationship. You know, we're trying to understand where Sam Altman is as we move into these blockbuster IPOs from SpaceX and Anthropic and we think OpenAI. What's your take on all this right now?
It was an absolutely crazy week last week. We had Computex in Taiwan, which was one of the big chip sales. We had a chip sell-off like no tomorrow, and a lot of it was people taking money off the top. I mean, these were some of the biggest gains on the chip side for AI. Broadcom's forecast spooked everyone with a 2-day drop due to poor guidance. And the strong May jobs report numbers showed that interest rates could go up because bond yields were higher. And that's where you saw these big drops, NVIDIA dropping like almost 6%. We saw Micron dropping 11%. AMD fell 10.5%, and Marvell down 12%. And that really changed where the market dynamics was. And then this week is all about the big SpaceX IPO. So the question is, markets are trying to feel things out. And of course, we're getting into June and people are heading out to the Hamptons.
Yeah, well, you've got these mega IPOs. I don't think the Hamptons are going to be that busy this week, Ryan, or even this summer because of everything that's going on. But, talk to that because, look, when you had these regulatory conversations happening about AI, I mean, what I heard Sam Altman say to reporters, he might be open to taxing AI. I was a little jaw-dropped by that. I thought that was something that I was not going to hear from him, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of what ifs. Obviously, this is going to be 3 huge IPOs coming out this year, and there's, I've talked about before, no sign of profitability here. So, when you start talking about taxes and you start talking about more costs for these companies, my antenna goes up to say at some point here, when are we going to see profitability if the cost just continues to add up here? And again, last week, the sell-off in Broadcom, they kind of missed what their forward guidance looks like. So you saw a big sell-off all of a sudden. So I'm starting to wondering, too, are these margins going to stay this high, Ray, with these semiconductor stocks? Or analysts being a little too Pollyannish looking at the future here?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I would say that the chip stocks still have a big run to go because the data centers aren't finished building out. There's still a lot of capacity that's going to be out there, and the regulation actually was a good thing with the president's orders because there's like 1,100 bills in the states that are coming through. If there wasn't any federal regulation, it would be 10x worse, actually 100x worse in some cases. And so I think what the SpaceX IPO is going to do is it's going to free up a lot of cash for a lot of the early investors. If you look at it, it's about $60 billion that's actually going back to shareholders and 20 that's actually going to SpaceX for the IPO. And of course, then the next round coming through Anthropic and OpenAI, that's the layer. The software layer is actually where the demand is going to be in the long run. Right now, it's really about building the infrastructure out. And we're halfway through the infrastructure spend. Why is that? Because there's still sovereign AI buildouts. Every country who feels like they're behind is going to want to be able to build out their AI data centers for their citizens. And there's a lot of countries that are going to have to build consolidated data centers for their area or even for their region.
All right, I want to get back to you on Apple in just a second, but I do got to bring up oil with you, Ryan, because we got to take a look at what's happening. Because when you've got this dichotomy of these markets that have really, let's talk about record after record, Friday aside, then you've got these rising oil prices this morning. I mean, there's a big discussion discussion out there right now about oil supplies, and that we're going to see, as these supplies get more and more deleted around the world and really here in the U.S., you're going to start to see gas prices jump up, and that's going to be a little bit of a conundrum for the economy and obviously for the administration.
You've seen a warning from both Exxon and CEO and Chevron CEO saying that we could get this big spike in oil prices. But I think the uncomfortable truth here is there is oil getting through the Strait of Hormuz, right? Either you're paying some sort of tax to get through to the IRGC, or, if you look at Saudi Arabia, they have a pipeline where they're actually pumping it out to the Red Sea. So I think a lot more oil is actually getting through the Strait of Hormuz or through the Middle East than is actually being recognized. And that's why the prices right now are not skyrocketing. Even with this conflict going on 100 days, you're under $100 a barrel, which I think is kind of remarkable here.
Well, I couldn't believe so Iran's ambassador to Moscow this morning was quoted as saying that the Strait of Hormuz will be open, but under new conditions to be set by Iran and Oman, including a transit fee. That's in Reuters this morning, so we'll see what happens. Ray, let's talk about Apple. They are hosting the Worldwide Developers Conference today in California. They're going to unveil a new AI strategy 2 years after the first major rollout did not go as expected. They're poised to introduce a new version of Siri, along with some other new AI goodies. Ray, you're at the conference. You're going to be there today. What are you expecting?
Yeah, welcome to my hometown here in Cupertino. People are converging. 25 million people are going to be watching virtually and 5,000 in place. It's all eyes on Siri, all eyes on AI. This is Tim Cook's last WWDC before John Ternus takes over. And people are looking for whether Siri and how they're working with Google Gemini are going to take off. So what does it mean? Is it the multi-step functionality where you can write an email, check weather, buy something, program that into what's happening on the devices? Is it going to be more? There's a lot of rumors as to what's going to happen. And we're going to find out if it's really, the next big thing for Siri. It's the next advancement that's happening. And of course, people are hoping to see other advancements. This is a developer conference. That's where developers get a sneak peek about what's going to happen next before their September event, where they typically unveil the hardware.
Right. And Ray, that's the big question today. I want to hear this. Is Siri going to become your AI chatbot? Are they ready for that? And I suspect they're going to discuss it. We'll see if it's actually going to happen. Ray, it's great to see you. Have a good time today. Thank you for being here. All right. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us. A lot of news coming up.